If you look at average soil organic matter on farms across the United States in the last 100 years, the trend has been this: organic matter levels have gone down. That is not a good thing. Today we're going to talk about why organic matter is so important and what you can do to build organic matter levels on your farm rather than seeing them fall.
So there's two things I want to talk about, Brian. I want to talk about why we're seeing organic matter go down and what can we do to turn this trend around and start building it back up?
Yeah, so let's start with why has it been going down? It's tillage. What happens when you till your soil? You speed the process of organic matter breakdown. The reason why, soil scientists have explained this to me too, because right away you stop and say, wait a second here, there's all kinds of residue on the soil surface. If I till, that's throwing the residue down into the ground. Shouldn't I increase organic matter levels? Nope, you don't. What soil scientists have told me is basically it's like adding fuel to the fire. When you put more oxygen into that ground, it speeds the breakdown of soil organic matter. Now, the breakdown of soil organic matter just naturally is a good thing because it's going to release nutrients for you. If you just have soil, whether it's tilled or untilled, a lot of times we're talking about just the standard release for every 1% of organic matter you have in your soil of roughly 20 to 30 pounds of nitrogen, 4 to 7 pounds of phosphate, and 2 to 3 pounds of sulfur on a lot of Midwestern United States soils. So if you have 5% organic matter, that's huge. You're talking 100 to 150 pounds of nitrogen every year you get for free, and a lot of the phosphate and sulfur. So if you speed the process of that breakdown, well, obviously you didn't have to put the fertilizer out there, but what's happening is you're mining the soil. So long term, your soil organic matter levels are going down, so you won't get as much free release in the future.
Well, we definitely see this on a wide scale, as you mentioned, but building it back up is really needing to be a focus for many growers.
Yeah, but
it
why?
certainly is for us.
But why? We already mentioned the nutrients that come out of this organic matter, but also understand that for each 1% of organic matter increase in soil, we usually see about 4% more water holding capacity. So let's say in your lifetime, if you could increase your soil organic matter level by 3%, that's 12% more water your soil could hold. Is that a big deal in a drought year? You bet it is. And then there are a lot of other benefits too. You have better soil porosity. You have more microbial life in your soil. You have less compaction out there. You filter your water better as it moves through, and so you have cleaner water that hits your tile lines. Soil organic matter is ridiculously important, not to mention the fact it can hold anions, even like nitrate, much, much better than just regular dirt.
That was one thing that I wanted to get into too, Brian. You mentioned the things that are going to be freely released from organic matter as it mineralizes, but I look at things like boron. On our own farm, we've talked to so many other farmers that have said, I really have a hard time holding boron in my soil, yet we've been applying boron and been able to hold it year after year, and part of the reason is we've got our organic matter levels up, so we can hold some of those anions and give them a place to hang out in the soil.
Okay, so hopefully you can see having good levels of soil organic matter is important. Now you might ask, well, what should I be shooting for? It all depends on your situation. So for me, we're starting a lot of our soils, after all these 100 years of tillage, a lot of our soils were at 2%, maybe 3%. What's our goal? What's our goal? We're at 5%. That's our goal. So if we can get our soils to 5% and maybe even 6 or 7, that's good. Now there is a top end to this too. I'd say if you're above 8 to 10% soil organic matter, well, you could actually hold too much stuff. You might not find that you're getting the release that you want out of herbicides, for example. So I would say the ideal range for me is probably in the 5 to 7% organic matter range.
That's a nice thing to say, Brian, but an easy way to do a test on your farm to see, well, what could I get to relatively easily just by changing some practices? Pull a fence line sample. So you've got a fence line and that ground never gets tilled. It's probably been in that same fence row for years and years, maybe forever. Pull a sample in the fence line, then pull a sample out in the middle of your field and just compare and see what the organic matter difference is. If you have a 6% organic matter level in your fence line and you're now down at 2% out in the field, well, you can see, oh, I can get back up to 6 if I just knock the tillage off and change a few of my practices. But if you're at a 2 in the fence line and you're a 2 in the field, okay, now I don't exactly know how far you can push it. Maybe you have a real light sandy soil, which is going to be pretty tough to build organic matter in.
No, but you still can. So let's talk about how do you build soil organic matter. Number one thing, reduce tillage. This is not saying you necessarily have to go no-till. You can do a little bit of tillage and still increase soil organic matter, but you got to keep that to a minimum. So that's by far and away number one. Number two, plant crops with lots of roots. A lot of people think that all this above ground residue is where organic matter gets built from. That is absolutely not true. The above ground residue that's just sitting there in the soil surface, that's to protect your soil. Where organic matter gets built from predominantly is roots breaking down in the soil. So as much as you can leave your roots intact, that's the real key. And obviously, the more roots you have, the faster you can build your soil organic matter. So let's just take corn versus soybeans. Corn, on average, has roughly 5 times the root mass of soybeans. So theoretically, I should be able to build my organic matter a lot faster with corn than I can soybeans.
And the key thing here is we reduce the tillage, is leave that root mass intact, as you mentioned. So
Yep.
that's where strip till comes into play. Say you're in 30-inch rows and you're tilling an 8-inch strip halfway in between those 2 rows of corn stalks. That's great because you left 95% of that root mass intact.
Yep, okay, so yes, strip till is going to help, maybe not quite as much as no-till, but in strip till you can still build organic matter levels pretty fast as well.
Well, the challenge here, Brian, though, is the next thing we'll talk about is manure and compost, using those as part of your fertilizer plan. If you're going to put manure and compost out there, I really like to till that in. So
Well,
you may
or
have
you
to
can
just say,
inject it.
you may have to say, if you're using dry material, all right, I'm going to till it in, but I'm only going to do that once every 4th or 5th year. We see many growers doing that of, you know what, I'm just going to do tillage, but it's only going to be sporadically in a 10-year cycle. That way it can mainly be no-till.
Okay, 2 other things you can do to increase organic matter levels on your farm. 1 is use cover crops, and 2, start using some biologicals, or as we like to call them, natural products. We've seen good results from those as well.
Well, organic matter is super important. Make sure that your soil test this fall have an organic matter reading so you can start managing that on your farm. Well, one other thing you definitely have to manage is our weed of the week. We'll show you how to stop it coming up next.